Mobile gaming has gotten so good that it has become a focus of this year's smartphones. We now have a new category of phone to talk about, the gaming phone. And one of the top gaming product companies now has the second version of their hard-to-ignore phone made for gamers. Hey, it's Joshua Vergara. What's going on, everybody? And it's time to ask the question, who is the Razer Phone 2 for? As usual, here's your standard disclaimer that this is not an exhaustive list. If you think that there is a particular user that I missed in this video, go ahead and put that in the comment sections down below, and I'm going to respond to them and probably post a few of them on my social media. Alright, let's start off with one that this phone is not for. It's not for the minimalist. It might be a jet black phone all around, but the Razer logo is prominently shown. There's no talk about notches or even full screen displays with this phone, as even Razer's own CEO said that they wouldn't shy away from making the phone bigger if it meant more features and a better overall experience. To that end, there are large speakers at the top and bottom, side to side if you're using the phone in landscape, that also help with handling when you rest your fingers on them instead of accidentally tapping the screen during long gaming sessions. So clearly this phone is not really about trying to minimize space. On the contrary, it will create space and use that space where necessary to get as many features into the mix. The first Razer phone did do away with the headphone jack already and required users to use a DAC-equipped adapter to use wired headphones. This is still the case with the Razer Phone 2, so some extra bits are required to get that full experience. Now, I know you're already eyeing the back of this phone given the fact that it has a glowing LED on the back, and we're going to talk about that a lot. This logo just pulsates, and so this phone is also for the unapologetic. This is a phone that makes it so clear to everyone what it is, a Razer product. If you're even thinking of getting this phone, you probably are completely aware of what you're getting, which also makes this phone squarely for the Razer fan. Think about the laptops that Razer makes. The snake logo is prominently displayed on the lid, and the keyboards can be backlit with either Razer green or, let's say, a full spectrum of color. And true to the cult of Razer, the company has brought that level of presentation to their mobile device. Set up the chroma by going into the included application where you can change the color from green to any single color to all colors in a pulsing pattern. You can also set it to work like a notification light, but having the chroma on at all times for such a purpose does make the battery drain much quicker. And it's not just this RGB logo on the back, just look at the soft case they also provided. For a phone that somehow toes the line of subtlety with the stealth black, this bright green case goes in the total opposite direction. And it is for all these reasons that the phone is also for, well, everyone else. Razer fans wear their fandom on their sleeves or on their heads, like that hat I got at the event, and this phone is just another great way of showing all of that off. In the first generation, Razer kept things under the radar, calling the phone for gamers rather than a gaming phone. But now it's both, and that's exactly what Razer's all about. And this doesn't even take into account any of Razer's other glowing, obvious products. The Hammerhead USB-C earbuds, for example, have a glowing logo on both of the buds, again making it a product that is just as much for everyone else as it is for you. But this is the big one, the wireless charger. This chroma-enabled wireless charger has a bottom portion that literally goes through the RGB gamut while it gives the large 4000 mAh battery some juice, while you're at your desk or just chilling out without any need for the quick charging, which is also included in the box. And to that end, this phone is kind of for the all-day air day. The big battery of the Razer Phone 2 is not the largest unit in smartphones today, but it is still a respectable amount for a phone that is trying to check a bunch of different boxes. Here's the lowdown. When you use this phone as a straight-up phone and dial back the media or gaming or even this RGB flexing to a more casual amount, the phone can definitely blow past the 1-day mark. It took me a while to stop gleefully playing games all the time, treating this phone like a portable Android gaming console, but once I started using the phone more conventionally, things started to fall in line with what Razer was claiming. When just straight gaming, I found an average of about 4.5 hours under a plethora of games like Streets of Rage 2 or more recent releases like Shin Megami Tensei. So of course, this phone is made for gamers. Razer put in a lot of features geared for high performance, from the Snapdragon 845 to the vapor cooling chamber that helps the phone keep from heating up even though the phone still gets a little bit warm during long and intense playing sessions. Even better is going through the game settings and catering the gaming experience to what you want it to be. Maybe dial back on the performance for better battery life, maybe lower the resolution, maybe go max everything. The 120Hz screen is still a joy to behold. It is as smooth as it is responsive, making for a good touchscreen controls experience. And even better yet, you can jump into Cortex, and you'll get a curated list of games that would be great on the Razer Phone 2. And that screen then is also great for just about any media you throw at it. Quad HD resolution, good colors, and that high refresh rate make YouTube and Netflix look great when you're not already impressed with the smooth and crisp navigation experience scrolling all over the place. Sound also gets a boost because the onboard speakers are super loud and get close to replacing small entry-level Bluetooth speakers. If you want to get your music and audio content done through wired headphones, the included adapter has a DAC installed, which further elevates the sound experience. So putting all of this together, clearly the Razer Phone 2 is just a big distraction machine. And that makes it great for commuters or people constantly in transit on planes, trains, and passenger seats. I have taken the Razer Phone 2 with me on a number of recent trips, especially during Techtober, and as long as I made sure to do local YouTube downloads and play mostly offline games, this phone did a great job of keeping me busy on long flights. Especially frequent flyers who have trouble falling asleep on planes might love a phone that gives them even more distractions than the screen built into the seat in front of them. But if you're starting to see that this phone is skewed more towards certain types of users, then you're absolutely right. And part of the reason why is because this phone's not for photographers. Once you're off transit or you're done commuting, the phone may not actually be the best companion for those looking to document the travels themselves. The cameras of the Razer Phone 2 are certainly better than the first generation, which is an accomplishment, but today's smartphone landscape simply has too many awesome cameras that a phone made squarely for gamers is already fighting an uphill battle. You can certainly get some decent photos using the dual cameras on the back that include a zoom, but the app is a bit too slow to be relied upon right in the moment. But when colors are a bit too muted and the details leave a bit to be desired, the entire shooting experience just falters. Honestly, the level of attention paid to the rest of the experience of the Razer Phone 2 is to be commended, but they still have a ways to go in making their flagship phone for gamers go up against the greatly evolving cameras in competing flagships. But as always, it comes down to how much the device costs and how you, as any type or types of these users, value what the Razer Phone 2 offers. And at $799, it certainly costs less than the $1,000 flagships, but it also provides a little less. There are places where the phone gives a unique and ultimately enjoyable experience. The screen is a sight to behold, performance is at a top level, there is little bloatware because of the included Nova Launcher Prime, and you can play your games in the shower for crying out loud. You couldn't ask for a more Razer phone, or even a more Razer product, but while this second iteration proves that Razer can still make an exciting and fun phone, it is still a niche device that isn't meant to excel in more than what Razer is already good at. And if that falls in line with your needs, then well, happy gaming, and you can continue enjoying the cult of Razer. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this review of the Razer Phone 2, where we asked, who is this phone for? I have to admit, I really like this phone, but I understand that it's not the best phone. It doesn't do everything, so some users out there may be turned off by, let's say, the camera, maybe even the design, the unapologetic design of this phone, but the screen is just a sight to behold, and I think that we should see it more in other flagship smartphones, and I believe we will in the next couple of years. But for now, it is definitely a distraction box. It's not going to be a camera, and it's not also going to be a more subtle, maybe business-type phone. But that's okay, because I really enjoy gaming. It's one of the hobbies that I have, and the Razer Phone 2 has fulfilled that niche pretty well. But in any case, I'm going to move on to our next phone, and by the end of the year, hopefully I'll be done with the main ones that you're clamoring for, so I will call it on this one. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, I will remind you to enjoy your tea, everybody.